welcome to a new podcast called Tips for the Trades. I'll be your host, Jeremy Lowe, from Service Fusion's Business Academy, Senior Director of Training and Associate Trainer at Service Nation. I'm looking forward to spending time with you talking about things you can do to make your business not only more profitable, but easier to run. So the big question remains, just who am I? Well, that's a good question. I started my career as an installation helper in HVAC. I rose through the ranks to become a service manager and then eventually a general manager of a $14 million mechanical and electrical contracting firm. 24 years ago, I was asked to go to work for a consulting firm by the name of Callahan Roach, a company that specialized in developing flat-rate service pricing for the home service trades. I've had the privilege over the last 20-plus years of teaching thousands of contractors across the country the best tools and techniques for improving profitability and understanding how to correctly price their goods and services. I've had the opportunity to speak at many industry trade shows and to write articles published in trade-specific magazines. During this time, I've made many friends in this industry and spent time with some of the largest and most successful contractors in the service trades. This has brought me a unique perspective on what it takes to grow your business from a single truck owner-operator on up to a $30 or $40 million firm. And I hope to bring some of this information to you. Part of what we will discuss is everything from should I use GPS tracking in my vehicle to some deeper psychological discussions such as how can I profile my current employees and new employees to maximize their potential and the way I communicate with them, as well as making my hiring process more accurate so that I select the best people for my organization. We'll talk about dealing with problem employees, lowering stress in your business, de-escalating angry customers, better communication skills, understanding, creating, and implementing key performance indicators to help gauge the growth of certain areas of your business as well as your entire business. And we're going to take the time to interview some movers and shakers in the trades, as well as instructors who teach various courses geared at small businesses. You know, podcasts are a dime a dozen, and I'm not looking to simply rant and rave about problems in our industry, but rather I'm interested in helping you acquire the real tools, tips, and techniques you need to make your businesses more successful. There is much to be learned when running a company. Most of us came into the industry either through a service truck or installation truck, or perhaps we were what I laughingly call SOBs, or son of the boss. We were raised in the trade. But you know, just because we know how to do the work does not mean we know how to run a successful business. You don't know what you don't know. This is a phrase you will hear me say over and over again. Another thing is beware of the misconception of a monolithic contractor. What I mean simply is everyone that will listen to this podcast does business a little different. So every time you listen, there may be something you take away that can help your business, or there may be things you say, I don't do business that way, and that's fine. The purpose here is not to tell you how to run your business, but to give you ideas that you may implement or roll into your business to make it more successful. You know, knowledge is king. And in my career, I learned as much from talking to other successful contractors as I ever did going to training classes. So the Tips for the Trade podcast is designed to help bring to you some of the best practices in the industry. And while sitting down with some of the leading experts to get new insight into different ways you can approach your problems. We'll also delve into ideas concerning leadership, how we can become better leaders in our organization and how that will help us ultimately solve many of the problems we face as business owners. To be honest with you, the more that you can educate yourself to make the business that you run easier is going to help you become more profitable. And face it, who wants to go home at the end of the day so stressed out that you can't enjoy an evening with your family? Or you find yourself continuously working long and extensive hours, and yet the business side of running your company never gets done. There's a stack of invoices that you still have to remember to fill out and send out to customers. There's always a vendor that you have to call and order something from. Now, some of these problems will never go away, even as you get larger and larger. But there are ways that you can make those problems easier to deal with. And that's one of the purposes of this podcast. Now, admittedly, I may not be the best voice for a podcast, and I've never done this before, so this is kind of new to me. But I've talked in front of thousands of contractors, and I've had the privilege of being able to teach not just contractors, but also work in their companies as a business consultant. And so simply sitting and talking and explaining what I know is easy for me. And I hope to present it in a format that you really like. But listen, what's really going to make this podcast worth listening to is when you feed back to me areas that either we need to discuss or perhaps better ways for me to present the information to you. This podcast is sponsored by two organizations, Service Fusion, an award-winning service software, and Service Nation, a best practices member buying group that helps you not only grow your business by gaining education from some of the leaders in the industry, but helps you also acquire rebates on the things you already buy and provides you with an opportunity to leverage over $1 billion in purchasing power by combining contractors into one unified buying group. So doing some things backwards, we've already dropped our first podcast entitled 6 Reasons Flat Rate Doesn't Work. We're going to spend time talking about the major myths surrounding flat rate and if it would actually work in your organization. The concept of flat rate pricing or upfront contract pricing is not new, but yet many contractors today still fear it and have yet to adopt it. So take the time to listen to that podcast. Every podcast will end with the same tagline. Now go out there and build something great. This is your trade, your business, and your legacy, so make it count. Remember, in the trades, every small improvement adds up to big results. So until next time, keep it growing, keep it efficient, keep it profitable, and keep making your business the best it can be. It's going to be my goal to help you make small improvements. Think about it this way. If you only improve one thing by 1% every day, at the end of the year, you will have made a 136% improvement. Now that is a pretty powerful growth curve, isn't it? But you can only make those types of improvements in a business if you are continually trying to improve. And you can only improve what you understand how to improve. This is why education is so important. And again, I emphasize that comment I made at the beginning. We don't know what we don't know. And by being able to listen to regular podcasts such as this, you'll be exposed to things that you may not be aware of, things that you then can go out and get a deeper understanding of, apply different tools, tips, and techniques in your business to correct the issues. And trust me, just like it's happened with some of the most successful companies in the service trades, you will be able to grow your organization. So listen, I hope to see you on this journey. I hope that you will take the time to regularly listen. And if you find it of benefit, please do me a favor and let other people know and share this information so they also can subscribe to Tips for the Trades. So until our next episode, I want you to go out there and build something great. I want you to remember all the hard work, money, and sweat that you have invested in your business because it's going to be your legacy. Your business is helping you build net worth, so an investment of education will help you build even more. So when you're ready to sell your business or pass it on, it will have real value and you'll get compensated for all the hard work that you did. And remember, it isn't making large improvements that should be your goal, but regularly making small improvements because they compound continually. So until you join me again, keep your business growing. Keep it efficient. Keep it profitable. And if you do that, you'll be making your business the best it can be. This is Jeremy Lowe signing off for Tips for the Trades and hoping to have you join me again in the future.